You know, if you've ever tried to really dive deep into spiritual philosophy, you know that feeling. It can be like trying to drink from the ocean. It's just so vast, so deep, and honestly, it's incredibly easy to get lost. But what if there was a map? What if there was a system designed to turn that huge, overwhelming ocean into a clear, step-by-step journey? So, here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to talk about that search for a path, the problem. Then, we'll get into the solution, this system for clarity. We'll look at its 14-level structure, how you actually learn, and even how it adapts to wherever you're starting from. And we'll wrap it all up by seeing how this all builds towards a complete spiritual education. All right, so let's start at the beginning. For anyone who is really sincere about this, that first step can be the most intimidating one. You're standing at the edge of this massive ocean of wisdom, but with no clear direction. I mean, where do you even start? I bet this feels familiar, right? You've got the genuine desire to learn, but without a roadmap, you just feel adrift. What should I read first? And what comes after that? And how do all these amazing, profound ideas actually connect with each other? This is the big challenge we're talking about here. So what's the answer? How do you solve that problem? Well, you build a map. And that is exactly what this curriculum was designed to be. And this is the core idea behind the whole Vedavarsity system. It's not just some big reading list. It's a structured, systematic pathway. It's actually been engineered to build a solid philosophical foundation, one step at a time, so that you're never left feeling lost or confused on the journey. Okay, so what does this journey actually look like? Let's break down the structure, because the scope of it is, well, it's really comprehensive. So the entire path is mapped out across 14 distinct levels. Right away, that tells you this isn't just a weekend workshop. This is a long-term, deep progression. It's a full path with a clear beginning, a middle, and an end. And get this, across those levels, you'll engage with around 60 different books. This is a seriously deep dive, covering everything from the foundational works to the advanced writings of the Gaudiya Vaishnava ācāryas, who are the key spiritual teachers in this tradition. And the whole thing, from start to finish, is designed to take about 4 to 5 years. So you can see it's framed less like a single course and more like a complete immersive spiritual education. The magic here is all in the sequencing. It's so thoughtful. Instead of you randomly jumping between really advanced topics and basic ideas, the path is organic. Each book literally builds on the last one, so you're always making steady progress. And the whole point of this is to prevent that confusion and those big philosophical gaps you get when you try to study on your own. Okay, so that's the structure, but how do you actually learn? Well, the system uses this really specific 4-step process for every single book to make sure that the knowledge really sinks in. It's a very holistic approach, really. First, you read, and not just one text, but several to get a really well-rounded perspective. Then, you hear the ideas explained in lectures, which helps deepen your understanding. Next, you confirm what you've learned through simple assessments. And finally, you get a certification, which gives you that little boost of encouragement to move on to the next stage. It's a complete learning cycle, every step of the way. All right, a really common question with any kind of structured program is, this sounds amazing, but do I have to start from square one? Well, let's see how this system is actually flexible enough for different kinds of people. The system is actually designed to meet you exactly where you are. So if you're a newcomer, you can start right at the base of the mountain at level 1 and get that full guided experience. But if you're a more experienced practitioner, you can actually join the path further up, say at level 8, and just continue your journey from there without having to repeat everything you already know. So let's bring it all home. When you put all these pieces together, the structure, the process, the flexibility, what you end up with is something that's way more than just an academic study. The real goal here is a complete transformative education. And here is a perfect example of that thoughtful sequencing I was talking about. There's this text called Śravaṇam. It is incredibly deep and philosophical. Now, by placing it at a very advanced stage in the curriculum, the system makes sure that by the time you get to it, you have the proper foundation to make it a truly transformative experience, instead of just a confusing one. So for someone new, what does this all add up to? It's not just a series of classes. It really becomes a complete 4-year guided journey. It's a map to help you navigate the depths of Krishna consciousness. And it's all designed for genuine, lasting spiritual growth. This final thought really just captures the entire spirit of the system. The goal isn't just about reading a lot of books, it's about walking a structured spiritual path, step by step. It's a progression that's aligned with a very traditional way of learning. And that really leaves us with a powerful question to think about. What's the real difference between just reading about a path and actually walking it?